Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning? I'm just rising and shining myself. And, well, actually, I'm not just rising and shining. You know how I roll. I get up early in the morning, eat my cereal, whatever. Well, actually, this morning I had fried potatoes again. And, I think there's something wrong with potatoes as well, y'all. I ain't going to keep complaining about the food, but it's a fact. Everything tastes different. I don't know what is going on around here. And my tongue is white. I might be dehydrated, y'all, just a little bit. Because I was snoring. I woke myself up snoring. My mouth was hanging open. I said, oh, shoot, I was sleeping good. I slept for about 3 more hours. Because I had gotten up around, I wrote it down what time I got up. Like I said, I usually write it down what time I get up. Because I be up playing games and I be doing the same old, at 5 o'clock a.m., okay? So I hadn't really slept last night, and so I stayed up for about 3 hours and went back to lay down till about 8 o'clock. And when I woke up, I woke up snoring. That's what woke me up, actually. If snoring will wake you up, if you snore loud enough and, and your mouth all hanging up and stuff, drooling and carrying on. That's what you call some good sleep, y'all. You wake up and you don't know what day it is. I thought the day was Friday. I said, oh, shoot, I'm supposed to take the bottles back today. Today's Thursday, y'all, just in case you didn't know. It is 11:45 now. So I've been up for about a half an hour, and we still got a windy day going on, and it's chilly as outside, y'all. As a matter of fact, wait a minute. I got a cup of coffee. Wait a minute. I made coffee this morning, so don't pay no attention to I had fried potatoes. I used my frying pan this morning. Got to wash that. But I made coffee, and I didn't drink it all, so I put it in my thermos. I'm not going to use the same cup. I'm going to get a new cup, though, for goodness sake. I don't know if it's still hot, but let's check it out. Let's check it out, y'all. If you don't mind hanging in here with me while I check it out. Let's see. And I'm hoping that my phone don't go off like it did the last time. The very last video I made, that timer went so darn down fast. So I got to see if I can free up some new. See, I got coffee. I don't think it's hot, though. I really don't. I don't know. Well, it's hot. But by the time I put my creamer in, it's going to be cool. But like I said, I hope my video don't cut off on me like it did before. Stay right there, y'all. Don't go nowhere. I'm going right over there to the fridge. Scared to move the phone because I'm scared it might go off for some reason or another. I got work to do, y'all. I really do. I'm just going to put a little creamer in here. And then I think I'm going to zap it. You know what I mean? Because, let's see. Yeah, she needs to be zapped for about 30 seconds, y'all. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I haven't had lunch. I'm not going to have lunch this early. I'm trying to get back on the schedule. Like, I think I gained pounds since I cooked that. What did I eat? I don't know. I forgot. But I think I gained a pound back according to my scale. But I had clothes on when I was weighing myself. Because actually my scale said that I had gained 2 pounds back, but I had to take a pound off for the clothes. So I'm thinking I gained a pound back. But I ain't going to give up just because of that. I'm just going to keep on trying. And like I said before, one of my biggest downfalls was eating in the middle of the night. Just because I couldn't sleep, so I get up and get on the computer and start snacking. And I did buy some potato chips yesterday, which I shouldn't have. But I did. But I only got one bag. One bag of potato chips. And I tried to buy some crackers with, I have some Ritz in there right now. Them Ritz are so darn salty. I don't know what they did to Ritz. There's something wrong with everything. And so I bought some Stop and Shop crackers. They look like Ritz, but they don't taste like Ritz, y'all. But I think the amount of sodium is way less. And so I got to check it out because I forgot what it was. I had some of those yesterday and, I had it with my soup. But I guess if you have it with soup, you're all right. Hold on, let me just double check. Hold on. Oh! Oh! Oh, no! Yeah, I bought Stop and Shop brand. This is what I bought yesterday. Stop and Shop brand. And let's put my glasses on because I did notice, I read the sodium, after, but I forgot. You know how that goes. You know how that goes, y'all. And you ain't got to be an old lady for that to happen. But now, the crackers is 80 calories. And the main thing I'll be looking at is sodium. 115%. 115 megagrams or milligrams or whatever. Is 115. Cholesterol is 0. Sugars is 1 gram. Includes 1 added sugar, 2%. So I figured these are much better for me than Ritz. Because them Ritz has gotten so John Brown salty. I'm sitting here rubbing Ritz together just to try to get some of the salt off them. I don't know when they got so John Brown salty. But I noticed that the last couple of boxes, at first I was figuring, okay, maybe it's because it's just this box. You know how you buy something, you think, okay, so it's this batch that was a little too salty. But then I got another, and that too was salty. And so I'm sitting here rubbing 2 Ritz crackers together to get the salt off. Dropping some of them in the trash, because I get frustrated and rub too hard, so half of it breaks off or something. But these, like I said, I'm going to have these for a while that I, reduce my salt intake, at least a little bit. A whole lot, because Ritz, I don't know. I threw my box of Ritz, my Ritz box away, but I still had one sleeve of Ritz left. And so when I get ready to eat them, I guess I'll be rubbing them together. But in the meantime and in between time, it's going to be these, even though the taste is bland. But the strange thing is that once you get used to, not eating a lot of this stuff, you don't hardly miss it. Now, when I was expecting, the doctor took me off salt, told me to stop eating so much salt, because I was having a problem while I was pregnant and, I was getting fatter and everything, whatever goes with it. And he told me to cut back on salt. And lo and behold, when I cut back on salt, and then I started sprinkling, after I had the baby and everything, started sprinkling that salt shaker again, it was like everything tasted too salty for me. Yeah. And so I try to keep my salt intake under, 2,000 a day? 2,000 milligrams or whatever it is a day on a daily. This is what they usually allow you in salt. which seems like a lot. And it is. I might be wrong about that, but I think the daily allowance is like 2,000. Yeah. Or is that the calories? I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I get confused. I have to double check my notes. But anyway, at least I'm trying. I am definitely trying. And one little small step adds up to big steps if you continue to do that one step. That one step can turn into a big step. In other words, it can make a difference. Just that one thing can make a difference. So if you change like one habit, it can make a difference. My habit, like when I had my serious drinking habit, for instance. Now, I had to drink every day. I couldn't just drink. I was working, of course. I think I told you about that, but, I'm surprised they didn't fire me, but they didn't. And because I know had to go in there smelling like it, the after effects. I didn't go in there drunk. Don't get me wrong. I still had my head on, pretty tight, But the after effects of alcohol stays with you for a while. But you quit. You quit. And then after a while, you don't miss it. And just like, but I say, like my case, I can't emphasize this enough, that I believe I had a divine intervention. I really do. As far as the smoking and the drinking goes, I was drinking. I quit drinking first. I think about 2 years before I finally stopped smoking. Because I've only been stopped smoking for almost like 8 years. But drinking, it's been over 10, about 10. Yeah. And so, small baby steps. Because just like when you were born, can you believe that when you were born, you didn't have no clothes on? So why you got so many clothes in your closet now? Why? You can't wear but one pair of shoes at a time. You can't wear but either one pair of pants at a time, one shirt, one bra at a time. Now, when we was down yonder home, let me tell you something, y'all. We didn't have a lot, as like I said before. And underwear was one of the situations that we didn't have a lot of. Sometimes you only had like 2 or 3 pair situations. And then you had to wash the pair out at night so it could get dry in the morning. So you could still have you some clean situations. Now that's what you call dirt poor. But you know what the weird thing is? We didn't know we were poor. We didn't know. We had no idea. We were just as happy as a pig in a powder, We were very happy. We were not miserable like the kids are today. They gotta have this, they gotta have that, And let's not forget this PS, what is that thing called? The PS5 station, whatever that thing is called. They gotta have that. My coffee's getting cold while I'm jabbing, y'all. So let me have one sip so I can get my head screwed on tight. Ain't like I got nothing to do today because I am not going out. I'm staying in. That's why I said, like maybe I'll go out one day. Next day, stay home, lay low. But my brother, oh my goodness, you would think this man is in his 30s. He's 84 years old. He's walking just like he's 20. This is honest to goodness true. He's gray. His hair is gray. But he's not bald or anything. He didn't want to get on camera. I wanted to show him so bad. I started to do it anyway. But I said, nah, I ain't going to do it to him. He might get mad with me and try to spank me. Because he's my older brother. You try to give your older brother a little bit of respect. But I wanted to show him so bad. And like I said, he walk around. And when we went to the funeral, and I don't think I told y'all this part, but when we went to the funeral, they had colors. Their colors were like purples and, you know, anything purple, which I didn't know it myself because I would have worn some purples. But, you know, the immediate family was purple. And my niece, she took it so bad, man. Oh, man. But anyway, that's not what I'm getting ready to talk about here. But my brother had came, and it was weird how he wore this suit. He had a dark purple suit on. It was real, you know, it wasn't purple, you know what I mean? But it was more like a dark purple. And he had I think it was a purple and white striped shirt on. Oh, he was sharp now. Yeah, he was sharp. He had like a derby hat on. It was, I think it was purple too. But, you know, it was real dark. Like I said, real dark purple. But I said all that to say this, that he actually matched the people, you know, the family with the purple. Yeah. I said I would, but I don't have anything purple. I have one kind of skirt, and it's a prairie skirt that I wore one time. I think I may have shown y'all that when I was showing y'all these skirts. I wore that skirt one time, and it comes down to almost to my knees. Not my knees, but my ankles. It's so long. Got it from Walmart many years ago. That's where I got all them prairie type skirts from. But I really love my black skirt. But like I said, you know, my brother was getting along. He gets around real good. And his truck, you know, is so high. Just like sometimes when I get on my ride and stuff like that, they have like a little stool that you step up on, like a step. I had to step up on his stool to get up in his truck. But it was a nice truck, though. A very nice truck. And it rides so smooth. It was riding so smooth, I forgot I was in a truck. You know, seemed like trucks sometimes they keep a little noise or something. I don't know. It was something different about this truck. And it was clean, you know, and then he had that, what do you call that, back seat type thing that he could have slept in or lay in or take some more passengers in, which he had that on his other truck too, but this truck was way bigger. It was bigger than the other one he had. And he said he needs it because he'd be hauling stuff for people be giving him stuff. And he said he'd be doing some scrapping, like scrapping metal and stuff. He said he'd do something every day. He'd go into his garage. What? You hanging around in your garage every day? That's what he said. And I do just the opposite. I get up, get on my computer. I sure do. And watch the news. I got to see what time it is. I got to see what's happening in the world today, y'all. And I got to check to see what the weather is, especially if I'm going out. Yeah. Let's see how long have I been up here. Nothing like a great cup of coffee in the morning, y'all. Get them eyes open. I hope y'all doing okay today. I feel like I got a little energy today, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll straighten up my bedroom again. But I got well, you know, at least I got my sheets changed. That's the main thing. But my problem is, like, when I get ready to go somewhere, I can't find what I'm looking for. And so I drag a lot of stuff out. And then I've got blankets in there. I got to give my granddaughters, you know, the 2 new babies. I didn't give them that blanket. I forgot to give it to them, you know, even though I gave them a little something. But I forgot to give them the blanket. And so I got to call my granddaughter and tell her to come pick. Well, I got one granddaughter's out of town. The other one's, you know, she's a little closer. That's the one I seen, you know, walking on the trail that day. She's a little closer. Me and her, we were in the same city. The other one is out of, you know, she lives a little ways. But, you know, she's out of town. Like my daughter is out of, you know, they live in a different city. Yeah. So what are y'all going to do today? You know, it's not really that cold, to tell you the truth. Even though I haven't been outside, I was cold in the house. I had my little heater on when I first got up this morning. That little heater right there. Let's see what's, ooh, too bright. Oh, look how bright it is, y'all. I can't hardly stand it. Look. Oh, let it cover my eyes. Road what? Ahead fine doubled. What? They're working on the road down there or something? I don't know what's going on. You see that white sign right there? Road work. Oh, road work ahead. Fines are doubled. Okay. Dang. I don't know what's going on in the neighborhood, y'all. It wasn't that sign. I knew that sign wasn't out there yesterday when I went. But, I know they're building, they're building a building down there. But they're saying road work. And when I went to the store yesterday on my scooter, they were trimming trees. And that's what my video, I'm on a different video today, y'all. So I'm a different phone. So bear with me. I ain't got no warning yet that it's going to, that I'm out of whatever they call it, storage. But when I was on my way to Stop and Shop yesterday, I had it seemed like I was running into an obstacle everywhere I went. And like when I crossed at the light, I go on that side, the cars or something is blocking the sidewalk over there. And then I cross over to the other side. They got walk lights on the way, so I don't have to worry about that. Crossing a double intersection, the cross intersection like that. I don't have to worry about that because they got the walk light. Crosses over to the other side, thinking I'm getting out of that side's way, and get over there, they're trimming trees. And I see this girl, this young lady, she acted like she was lost. She didn't know what to do. And I was wondering what the heck was wrong with her because I didn't realize that they were trimming trees. Even though I saw the cherry picker or whatever that thing is, I saw the truck, it was on the street. And when I crossed over to the other side and I see her, and she suddenly darts across the street to go on to the other side, I think an officer was standing there. And I'm lost. I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know if I should turn around, go back home, forget to go into the store, or just try myself to maneuver myself around, And they had the cherry picker, and they're trimming the limbs off the trees. And let me tell you another thing, too. The sidewalk over by, one side of the street, I could hear those acorns just popping underneath my scooter because a lot of acorns was around there. You know how they fall off the trees? The acorns, and I said, and I saw about 3 squirrels while I was on my way. But that was in my block where I live that I saw the squirrels. I said, man, they need to get down here in this block. That's where the action is, so they can get some for their winter. I should have picked up some and brought it back. Oh well, let me stop being silly. But anyway, the cherry picker was dropping the tree limbs. The tree limbs were falling onto the sidewalk. So there's no way that I can go past there. And so I saw the officer. He was sort of standing there. He had let the other girl go across the street. And I noticed that he had done that. And so I asked him, can I cross here? And he said, yeah. So he stopped the traffic, for me so I could go across to the other side. I'll tell you, y'all, I could have wrote a book yesterday. It might not have been a novel, but it certainly would have been a short story. And on that note, I go with love, and I'll see you again soon. Ah, shucks.